The audience may be seated. Let us pray. God of all creation, God of all people, known by many names, heard in many voices, we gather in your presence this day and commend to you this convocation and these our graduates. Holy One, you bring us into this blessed and joyous moment from our different traditions, from our collective learning. In joy and celebration, you bind us together in this place as one community. Here in your sight, we are united in our desire to search for all that is good and acceptable and perfect. We offer to you all the words that praise your holy name, knowing that you are yet the one who is unnameable. Grant your light and your love, O God, to keep us on the paths that make for peace, to illuminate our search for truth and knowledge, to shape our lives in compassion and understanding and justice. Bless our assembly, bless these our graduates, that they would go out to love and serve the world in knowledge and wisdom, and most of all in faith, hope, and love. Amen.
Kizok, walaliek uchita dandel malaliek kiskuk. Walaliek uchiniye dandeli yemen. Walaliek uchita dandeli genemuya keluk langbe. Akted mi majwa an nemidwek. Mi wadamonek dandeli genemuyek kiskuk. Dandeli muriek kiskuk det. Era wakta monek nige wolchugoinam. Upantarwin and come namunina and tamkidas one minam. Clamanagizuli also the mess of us and Ulanige. Tan graduate of Tijikis book. At a walk to monkeys walk, Uligan Mono, Kello put out you all. A cloak no, tan de tel dajik, which he loves it among. Me what a monek. Uchi tandeligan madla ebit. Tandeli Keloko. Msukoi dan Eric. Tangisado, mi war mo chitnegam. Era wakti mo nige, chigalado ano dande sektai ta amok tas kimedich without tiwo. A uligin mo des kelok, mi majwan mo said no gama.
Sorry. Make sure everyone's awake. I declare the convocation to be in session. Je prononce la cérémonie de la remise des diplômes en cours. Welcome, Ms. Chancellor, distinguished platform guests, graduates, family, friends, and members of the community. Welcome, bienvenue, Pelagie, to our 156th Convocation ceremony. Je vous souhaite un très chaleureux bienvenue à toutes à notre cérémonie de la remise pour les diplômes. I would like to take a moment first to acknowledge and honor and pay respect to the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we gather. Mount Allison University is built on the unceded ancestral lands of the Mi'kmaq people, part of the greater Mi'kmaqi, also what we call Sackville. As we share our knowledge, teaching, learning, research practices within this university, may we also pay respect to the knowledge embedded within the Indigenous custodianship of this country. Ms. Chancellor, I would like to introduce a number of special guests who are with us today. As I introduce them, I would ask them to stand and to remain standing, and I would ask the audience to please withhold their applause until the introductions are complete. Margaret McCain, former Chancellor of this university and former Lieutenant Governor. Senator Joseph Day. Ms. Megan Mitton, our member of provincial legislature. Dr. Ron Aiken, Deputy Mayor of the town of Sackville. Mr. Jerome J.J. Bear, Mayor of the village of Dorchester. Mr. Bob Henderson, Director, Moncton Flight College. And Ms. Yana Titarenko, MASU's President. Welcome, please. On your very first day on this campus, our graduates, you sat in this very building for what we called commencement. It was the official start of your journey here at Mount Allison. And now you've come to another milestone. We say Mount Allison is a family. We mean it. You're stuck with us forever. But Convocation is certainly a significant moment in each of your lives, and as families do, we have gathered to celebrate this achievement. Il faut toujours réfléchir sur cette belle expérience universitaire, surtout aujourd'hui. The class of 2019 will always be a particularly special one for me, because this is the first Mount Allison graduating class whose convocation I presided. It has been a privilege over these past 10 months to get to know this university community and the people in it. Je vous remercie du fond du cœur pour m'avoir accueilli chaleureusement ici au campus de Mount Allison. Thank you for helping me understand what it takes to make Mount Allison. What makes Mount Allison Mount Allison? I get it. You've made my work as president so much easier and so greatly rewarding. Now, I'm a relative newcomer to Sackville, and as a newcomer, one of the things I've noticed, I'm sure some of you have as well, that in this town we have a plethora of ducks. There are duck statues, duck-themed cafes, even bars, a unique duck-painted crosswalk, and of course, we have Monty, our beloved duck mascot, who welcomed you all this morning, when you came in. Excuse me. But I learned one really interesting duck fact this year. When you have a group of ducks that contain one grown-up duck and a number of ducklings, it is known as a safe of ducks. And I think that's a pretty good description of what Mount Allison and Sackville is for students. Many of you come to us as ducklings, so to speak, because it's your first time away from home. It's the first time you've been out on your own to make your own decisions, the first time you've really been able to make choices about your education and what you want to learn. And Mount A gave you a place where you could test your limits, a place to stretch your wings and try out the water, but not without guidance and help. Chacun d'entre vous a trouvé plusieurs personnes, soit des amis, soit des professeurs, soit des membres de la communauté, pour marcher avec vous, côte à côte. Between the university and the town, you've also had the opportunity to learn from and be mentored by so many different people. People who encourage you and helped you, equip you for the knowledge and skills that you have today to step into the world on your own. People who pushed you to reach for things and to grasp things beyond your reach. People who helped you realize what you took to be the end of the road was really just a bend in the road. It has been a safe place to try new things, to test new ideas, to make mistakes, and to try again. And now, you're equipped to head off on your own. I know that can be a little bit intimidating, but you are more ready than you think you are. Think back to this moment in this convocation stage during commencement. At that time, 4 years ago, did you know how to do research to find out the answer of a detailed question? Could you conduct a lab experiment, analyze the results, and turn them into a coherent report? Could you argue your point of view in writing out loud, logically, and clearly? Had you ever taken on a leadership role? Could you ask for help when you needed it? And perhaps, most importantly of all, could you do your own laundry? Parents are still asking that question. That includes not only your time in the classroom, but also your time outside of the classroom, which is a very, very special part of the Mount A experience. The clubs in which you've participated in, the community involvement, the jobs and internships at which you've worked, the friends you've made, the many friends you've made, the experiences traveling abroad, the people you learn to get along with, despite having differing points of view on occasion. You've come such a long way since that last time you sat here for commencement, something that you may not realize until you get a chance to put all that learning into action. But you are more ready than you think you are. But that doesn't mean you now get to sit back, cruise, and coast. No. The most important thing that you've learned here at Mount Allison is how to learn. And you're going to keep learning for the rest of your life. Please, find ways to make that happen. Find new mentors. One only has to look at the honorary degree recipients today so that you can see that there are incredible people across this country from whom you can learn. Actively seek out opportunities. Parlez à tout le monde, avec des personnes avec des points de vue peut-être différents que le vôtre. Aussi, essayez de nouvelles choses, différentes choses, peut-être des choses que tu n'as jamais faites avant. If you remember one thing I've shared with you today, this morning, it would be this. Be the curator of your own life. Don't let someone else shape it or tell your story. This past weekend, we had on campus the Alumni Reunion weekend, a very festivus evening and sessions across campus. Many of you, I'm sure, participated in the events. We had alumni visiting us who graduated a year ago, some who graduated 70 years ago. In fact, we hosted the class of 1954, a very wild and engaged class, dynamic class of 54 at Hammond House on Saturday. It was really fascinating for me to talk to them, to see the many ways in which they've made a difference in their communities in which they live. They have been change makers and have made a difference. Few of them are making headlines, but fame is not a measure of impact. Shape your story so you are proud to tell it 10, 20, 50, 70 years from now. We'll all be waiting to hear it. Thank you. Ms. Chancellor, we'll all be waiting to hear it. Yes, I think I'm done.
Chancellor Lowen, Mr. President, platform guests, members of faculty and staff, graduands of the class of 2019, and families and friends. I am honored to present David Booth to Convocation. In addition to being a great Allisonian and a wonderful leader, David Booth is a builder, a pace setter, and a philanthropist. To those of us that have had the good fortune to work with or spend time with David Booth, These attributes are clearly evident wherever he turns his hand, be it in business, with his customers or his employees, in his community, with his fellow volunteers and donors, and also with his colleagues and his friends. David has had a career that has spanned more than 30 years in the computer and IT industries, and he has held many key positions throughout that career. David served as president of Global Sales and Marketing for Computer Science Corporation. He served as vice president and general manager of the Americas Technology Solutions Group for Hewlett-Packard Corporation. He served as president of Compaq Canada and regional vice president and general manager of Digital Equipment Corporation. Most recently, Mr. Booth retired as chief executive officer of Back Office Associates, LLC, which I know is a leading service provider in the rapidly growing area of digital migration and data migration and master data management. David continues to serve on the board of directors of Texas, which is a Canadian public company which is listed and trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange. As a native of New Brunswick, Mr. Booth is, I know, very proud to hold a Bachelor of Commerce degree from Mount Allison University. He's also completed the Lessons in Leadership Executive Development Program at Harvard University. Mr. Booth served as a member of the Mount Allison University Board of Regents for more than a decade, and it was more than service, David. It was hard work and long hours and tremendous dedication. David is a founding member of the Mount Allison University National Advisory Council. David was a lead volunteer on the Alumni Field Revitalization Project, and if all of that is not enough, most recently, David led a campaign that generated $1 million to establish the James Rogers Student Athlete Award here at Mount Allison, and that award is named in honor of David's mentor. David and his wife Betty Jo and their son Ed reside in McLean, Virginia. David and Betty Jo are very proud of Ed as he will be entering the final year of his commerce degree here at Mount Allison in the fall of this year. The Booth family are all involved in a variety of philanthropic activities in both Canada and the United States. So Chancellor Lowen, on behalf of the Senate of Mount Allison University, I request that you confer upon David Booth the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
I'll let you go this way.
David Booth, on behalf of the Senate of Mount Allison University, we are pleased to confer on you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto, the hood with which we are investing you, and the diploma we are presenting to you are the outward symbols of your membership in this venerable and distinguished community. We are honored to have you as a Mount Allison graduate and look forward to your continued association with the university. Congratulations.
Ms. Chancellor, platform guests, members of the faculty and staff, graduands of the class of 2019, families and friends, I am honored to present Andrea Colfer. From Elsipogtog First Nation, Ms. Colfer has spent her life working to support First Nations people's mental health and wellness throughout the Atlantic region and beyond. She is a traditional and well-respected elder and knowledge keeper in the territory of Mi'kmaq. A carrier of the Mi'kmaq hieroglyphics knowledge and translation, Colfer has served as a resource for education departments throughout the Maritimes and has begun training with Newfoundland elders to reclaim traditional knowledge. She holds a number of degrees, including master's and bachelor degrees in adult education, and is a graduate of Western University's School of Journalism. Ms. Colfer also holds certificates in conflict resolution, residential school impacts, and Aboriginal trauma training. Working with the Atlantic Policy Congress First Nations Chiefs Secretariat, Colfer has supported former Indigenous residential schools students and their families by connecting former students and descendants with mental health providers and traditional caregivers and healers. A fluent speaker and teacher of the Mi'kmaq language, Colfer is part of the Mi'kmaq-Wolastoq Elder Council and is called upon by elders across Turtle Island for her knowledge in land-based education, Indigenous art, history, and language, and in historical trauma counseling. She served as a health support coordinator for the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls, helping to provide support for family members and survivors during the inquiry. She was influential in ensuring the inquiry's process maintained a family focus, with her own family being directly affected by the disappearance of her sister in 2004. At Mount Allison, Colfer has been an essential part of reconciliation and educational efforts through the Elder in Residence program, bringing back matriarchal teachings with women elders on campus. As one of the grandmothers, she is regularly on campus visiting with students, faculty, staff, and community members, and helping to organize a number of initiatives, including class lectures, community gatherings, and workshops. Ms. Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of Mount Allison University, I request that you confer upon Andrea Colfer the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Andrea Colfer, on behalf of the Senate of Mount Allison University, we are pleased to confer on you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto, the hood with which we are investing you, and the diploma we are presenting to you are the outward symbols of your membership in this venerable and distinguished community. We are honored to have you as a Mount Allison graduate, and we look forward to your continued association with the university. Congratulations.
Chancellor Lowen, platform guests, members of the faculty and staff, graduates of the class of 2019, families and friends, I am honored to present Sheldon Levy. Sheldon Levy is a widely lauded person for his entrepreneurial leadership in post-secondary education, his work in the civil service and the not-for-profit sectors, and his championing of innovation in these areas. Over his long and distinguished career, Mr. Levy has found extraordinary success. He uses a blend of mentorship, education, and networking to inspire Canadians to disrupt industries and build globally relevant companies. Mr. Levy holds both a Bachelor of Science and a Master's in Mathematics from York University. He is currently Special Advisor to the Federal Minister of Small Business and Export Promotion and the former CEO of Next Canada, a national nonprofit focused on increasing national prosperity through innovation and entrepreneurship. His earlier roles set the stage for his more recent work. Mr. Levy served as president of Sheridan College, vice president of finance and strategy at the University of Ontario Institute of Technology, vice president governmental and institutional relations at the University of Toronto, and vice president institutional affairs at York University. He was president and vice-chancellor at Ryerson University for 10 years, from 2005 to 2015, where he fostered student innovation, including developing the Digital Media Zone, an early-stage incubator for student entrepreneurs, which has become an international success. He is also the founder and advisor to Ryerson Futures, Inc., an accelerator that has exported the DMZ model and concept to Calgary, Mumbai, and Vietnam. Mr. Levy has also served as Deputy Minister of the Ontario Ministry of Advanced Education and Skills Development for 2 years, from 2015 to 2017. Under his leadership, the ministry delivered both employment and training programs that met the changing needs of the province's labor market and a high-quality, accessible post-secondary education. He is responsible for drafting the framework aimed at ensuring the survival of universities in more remote parts of the province of Ontario. He has won a number of awards and was named one of Canada's 50 most influential people in business by Canadian Business Today. Chancellor Lowen, on behalf of the Senate of Mount Allison University, I request that you confer upon Sheldon Levy the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Sheldon Levy, on behalf of the Senate of Mount Allison University, we are pleased to confer on you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. The hood with which we are investing you, and the diploma we are presenting to you are the outward symbols of your membership in this venerable and distinguished community. We are honored to have you as a Mount Allison graduate and look forward to your continued association with the university. Congratulations.
Very beautiful inductions to our honorary degree class. Very impressive. I would now like to welcome to the podium Dr. Sheldon Levy to give the Convocation address. Sheldon, please. Thank you.
Well, it's a real honor to be here. Madam Chancellor, members of the Board of Governors, Mr. President, faculty members, friends, and especially to you, the students, and the community. Thank you for this tremendous honor. Along with David and Andrea, I stand here today, and we, along with all of you, are becoming alumni of this fantastic university. So let me begin by thanking my dear friend, President Boudreau, and through President Boudreau to thank the Senate of Mount Allison and the Board of Governors for this wonderful honor. When I received the call from Jean-Paul, I was excited to not only be asked, but excited to join your community. I've been to many convocations, as you could imagine. As president of a university, I've seen many, and each of them are very, very special. They are filled with a lot of joy and a tremendous amount of relief. I remember one convocation, and a young person was coming across the stage, and we encourage a bit of hooting and hollering and congratulations. and the young person is crossing the stage, and out of the back of the audience comes, "Thank God." Now, there may be many parents here feeling the same way, but recognizing that yesterday was Mother's Day, there's certainly a lot more people to thank in addition to God, like your mom, your dad, your friends, your grandparents, and all of those that have put up with you at different times during your journey. So why don't we, as all of our alum, just give a big round of applause to moms, dads, grandmas, etc. So for me, it's great to be here in Sackville. Now, I'll tell you a story that it's hard to believe, but in fact, the last time I was in this region was exactly 1 year ago. And the reason I came last year was to pursue my second favorite passion in life, and that is I love motorcycles. I'm a biker. And I put in my notes, I ride real bikes. I was going to put in brackets, but I thought I shouldn't say it. I don't drive Vespas, right? I love motorcycles. I know everything there is to know about them. I love the gear, I love the helmets, I love the gloves, I love the jackets, but most of all, I love riding them. And last year, I found a BMW K1600 GTL advertised online, and it was for sale at the McDonnell Buick dealership in Moncton. It was a great deal, and I couldn't resist it. So I hopped on a flight and bought the bike on the spot. Then I drove along Highway 11 along the coast from Moncton to Bathurst, and from there I cut across the interior, taking Highway 180. If you know where I'm going, you'll figure it out right away. Bathurst to Edmonton, and from there took the Trans-Canada back home. It was a breathtaking road trip across perhaps the most beautiful, friendly part of Canada. And what a gorgeous province you have in New Brunswick. Never, when I was riding my bike, did I imagine that I would be on the flight home to wear this. This is not my biking outfit, I can assure you. I'm told that the population of Sackville is around 5,300 people. And you just have to walk around any length of time and find out how gorgeous and peaceful and beautiful it is here. And I'm sure that's why the founder, Charles Allison, chose this location for his academy. But Sackville is also proof positive of the impact that small town can have and have huge impact. Mount Allison was chartered to grant degrees in 1863. And mere 12 years later, in 1875, Mount Allison awarded a Bachelor of Science degree to Grace Annie Lockhart. Upon her graduation, Grace became the very first woman anywhere in the British Empire to be granted a degree. I'm sure many of you know this wonderful snippet of Mount Allison's history, but it's hard to overstate its significance. Today, what Grace Annie Lockhart did would be considered routine, but in her day, it was extraordinary. Today, female students outnumber their male counterparts on campuses across Canada. Women are graduating to every field of endeavor. Women today are leaders in business and government and science and society. And this place, where we stand today, is truly where it all began. Grace Annie Lockhart isn't just an inspiration to women. She's an inspiration to me and to all of you, of an example of how change starts with one person in one place. And we are all living in the future whose foundations was laid right here in Sackville 145 years ago. And so today, as I look out on you as the new graduating class of Mount Allison, the class of 2019, I ask you to consider, so what is your foundation? What will you lay for the future? Not just your own future, not just the future of your classmates and friends, but for all people, and most of them you've never met, for people in other cities and towns, for this province, this nation, and beyond. Because no matter where you look in the world today, you see a need for a new foundation. In the world of science and technology, although it's advancing bold new directions such as AI or artificial intelligence, which is full of excitement, but it is also full of practical and ethical questions about how it will impact our economy and our relationships with each other. So technology really does need a new foundation. But it's the time everywhere you look. The world of journalism and publishing has been upended by the internet and social media. Journalism itself needs a new foundation. Around the world, international alliances are shifting. It's unclear what shape they will take or what Canada's place in the world will be. But it's true that diplomacy also needs a new foundation. And when you look at social and economic inequality, they're on the rise. It's the very thing that Grace Annie Lockhart sought to change. And after more than a century of progress, things are sliding backwards. So society itself needs a new foundation. So this is where the world stands at the moment of your convocation. Things are changing. We can all say they are changing, but it's unclear what the outcomes will be. Your generation will be the one that will have to shape these outcomes. You may not believe me, but when I say you are ready. But let me tell you, you are really ready. And I say that because we need you to be ready. Right now, I work as an advisor to Minister Ng, the Federal Minister of Small Business, Export and Promotion. Minister Ng and I and your President, Jean-Paul Boudreau, have known each other for a very long time. As her advisor, I've been traveling across our wonderful country, speaking to leaders about innovation, entrepreneurship, and the most important finding is related to you. It's this country needs your ideas. This country needs your leadership, and it needs you to have the courage to try new things. It needs you to vote, and it needs you to be involved. And this is what you've truly earned through your higher degree at Mount Allison, a chance to lead. So I'll say it again. Here we stand at the moment of your convocation, and the world is changing, and we can all see that it's changing, but it's unclear what the outcome will be. We need new foundations for our future, and it will be your generation that will build those new foundations. My generation did the best we could with the problems we faced in our time, but we are all riding our motorcycles off into the sunset now. And we look to you now. It is your turn to lead. Your education at Mount Allison has prepared you to step into this world. Here in the small university town, you've learned all you need to know to step out into the world at large and take on even the most daunting challenges. Maybe you'll do it by solving one of the world's most daunting problems, or maybe, like Grace Annie Lockhart, you'll do it with a simple act of courage and determination. Something that 145 years from now will seem commonplace, but that will set the world on a new path. Sackville changed the world once before, and it certainly can do it again. In my long career, I've been a college president, a university president, and president of a startup incubator. And if there's one thing I've learned and keep learning, it's that betting on young people like you is the best investment society can make. If we give you the space and the trust, great things will come through. So President Boudreau, my dear friend, I know you will look after this very special university along with your academic colleagues and continue to build a university that gives students the room, the trust, and the confidence to fly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Levy. The Tucker family's legacy at Mount Allison started in 1930, when Dr. Herbert Tucker was appointed the Joseph L. Black Professor of Economics and Sociology, an appointment he held until his death in 1953. In 1939, Dr. Tucker became the Dean of Arts, and in 1944, he was appointed Registrar. While they were in Sackville, his partner Leota attended Mount Allison and graduated in 1933. Dr. Tucker was well known for his excellence in teaching, his generosity, and kindness. Herbert and Leota had 3 sons, Edmund, Harold, and William. All 3 attended Mount Allison. Edmund received both a chemistry and physics degree in 1943. Harold graduated in 1944 and William in 1947. Both with a Bachelor of Science. Over the years, Mount Allison has been home to many members of the Tucker family. In 1980, the 3 sons established the Herbert and Leota Tucker Teaching Prize at Mount Allison in honor of their parents. This prize has been awarded annually to a member of the faculty judged to have made the most significant contribution in the previous 5 years, with a particular emphasis on teaching. Today, we wish to pay tribute to Herbert and Leota's eldest son, Edmund Tucker, who passed away in March of this year. Edmund himself was born in Wilfville, Nova Scotia. Shortly after graduation, he was enrolled in the Canadian Navy. He was transferred to Plymouth, England, where he was on loan to the British Navy for training. After the war, he returned to Canada and was successful in a nationwide competition for a Rhodes Scholarship. He, in fact, was Mount Allison's 25th Rhodes Scholar. Just before he left for England, he married his wife, Noreen. At Oxford University, he earned his master's degree in physics. Edmund and Noreen returned to Sackville in 1948, where their eldest son, Robert, was born. They moved to the United States later that year, where he attended Yale University and earned his PhD in physics, a notable accomplishment. He joined the General Electric Research Lab, where he became an expert in the field of solid-state masers. In the late 1960s, he transitioned to General Electric's Foundation for Education Research. He retired from GE after 16 years in educational research. Edmund never forgot his undergraduate alma mater and was a loyal donor to Mount Allison, supporting many prizes and bursaries over the years, including the Class of 43 bursary and the Herbert and Leota Tucker Teaching Award. Mount Allison looks forward to celebrating their gifts to the university and to honor their support, spirit, history, and the tradition of the Herbert and Leota Tucker Teaching Award in September of this year.
Madam Chancellor, platform guests, colleagues, class of 2019, members of the family of Mount Allison University. It is my honor to acknowledge the receipt of Professors Emeriti, which are distinctions that the Senate and the Board of Regents bestows upon faculty members who are recently retired and have served a long time at Mount Allison. Today I'll introduce 3 of my colleagues. I would ask them to stand, and I would ask the audience to withhold their applause until they've all been standing. Together, they served Mount Allison for nearly 80 years. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Ron Aitken, Professor Emeritus from the Department of Biology, Margaret Beaton, Associate Professor Emerita, also from the Department of Biology. Maggie's not here today. And Stephen Duffy from the Department of Chemistry, who receives Associate Professor Emeritus. Honoranda Cancelaria, e baccalaureae, qui ad te adico et gradum magistri in scientia apti atque idoneae cogniti sunt. Tyler William Dana Lutz. Honoranda Cancelaria, ali baccalaureae a senatu approbiti, hos gradius in abstentia accipiunt. Honoranda Cancelaria e adolescentes, cos adis te educo ad gratum baccalaureae in scientia apti atque idonei cognit sunt. Elizabeth Anna Baker, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude. James Percy Ira Black, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude. Julia Eileen Buchanan Bland, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude, recipient of the Laura Gates Award. Hannah Grace Bowers, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude, recipient of the Canadian Council of Canadian Departments of Psychology Teaching Assistant Award. Jocelyn Renee Braun, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude. Emily Jean Burbage, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude. Isabel Sierra Curtis, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude. Sienna Sidney Davis, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude, recipient of the Fensom Prize and the Laura Gates Award. Ellis Evans, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude. Samantha Ashley Feener, cum honoribus primi ordinis cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Fleury, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude. Katrina Lynn Forstall, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude. Hannah Lynn Gale, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude. Emma Sidney Garlock, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude. Megumi Ann Gates, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude, recipient of the Biochemistry Prize Fund and the Society of Chemical Industry Student Merit Award. Sophie Olivia Hansen, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude, recipient of the CPA Certificate of Academic Excellence and the F.A. Serby Prize in Psychology. Hannah Jane Ingalls, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude. Abby Gail Jones, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude, recipient of the Laura Gates Award. Haruka Diane Kashiwai, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude. Maxime Francois Landry, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude, recipient of the Kendall Scott Memorial Prize in Chemistry and the Society of Chemical Industry Student Merit Award. Andrew William Linton, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude, recipient of the Society of Chemical Industry Student Merit Award and the Gil Ladder Prize. Andrew Leidenheim Morera, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude, recipient of the Harry A. Sheffield Prize, the Dr. R.N. Varma Memorial Gold Medal in Physics, the Craik Foundation W.B. Sodden Award, and the Don Norton Memorial Award. Kathleen Maria Morrison, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude. Maya Catherine Jin Rui Murphy, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude, recipient of the Society of Chemical Industry Student Merit Award. Catherine May Ollerhead, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude, recipient of the Gordon Menson Peer Tutor Prize. Emily Isabel Poole, cum honoribus premiordinis, cum laude, recipient of the Fenson Prize and the Colin Patterson Prize. Elliot Porcher, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Ruggles Gates Award, the Harold Chapman Steeves and Annalee Steeves Memorial Prize. Catherine Rice, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Governor General's Silver Medal, the Alumni Academic Achievement Award, the Burks Medal, and the Society of Chemical Industry Student Merit Award. Melissa Lynn Ryu, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Katie Corin Rubinger, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Sula Svart, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Fensom Prize. Laura Weir, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Seth Bradshaw Filtraco Winward, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the CPA Certificate of Academic Excellence. Monica Heidi Zoll, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Angus Frederick Stevens Doan, cum honoribus premiordinus. Sarah Marie Shannon, cum honoribus premiordinus. Madison Lynn Fairweather, cum honoribus cum laude. Annika Catherine Vanderland, cum honoribus cum laude, recipient of the David Gilchrist Chalmers Memorial Prize and the Charlie Hunter Award. Christina Elizabeth Daly, cum honoribus. Veronica Dornan, cum honoribus. Christine Ann Dugas, cum honoribus. Pascal Marie Haydar, cum honoribus. Caitlin Victoria McGowan, cum honoribus. Jenna Deanne Morissette, cum honoribus. Shay Campbell Scully, cum honoribus. Rachel Lynn Vanderkloot, cum honoribus. Brent Allen Walker, cum honoribus. Lauren Jessica Wenzel, cum honoribus. Samantha Jean Bremner, cum laude. Jessica Shannon Campbell, cum laude. Joshua Alfred Harvey Cookson, cum laude. Oliver Mark Dinan, cum laude. Solange Claudia Danica Dupuy, cum laude. Adrian Kiva, cum laude. Corey Frederick LeBlanc, cum laude, recipient of the Province of New Brunswick Golden Jubilee Scholarship. Ting Ting Lin, cum laude. Hannah Marie Longard, cum laude. Katie Ann Henry Luker, cum laude. Sarah Margaret Joy McEwen, cum laude. Cara Julia McKenzie, cum laude, recipient of the J.C. Moore Prize. Cale Alexandre Monroe, cum laude. Michelle Nabil Nader, cum laude, recipient of the Harold Melville Rogers Memorial Gold Medal. Rebecca Marie O'Brien, cum laude. Heather Victoria Richards, cum laude. Jeshua Christoph Becker. Ava Sage Landers Berry. Eduardo Arturo Bracco Selone. Liam Roger Bulger. Olivia Marie Chamberlain. Lauren Chantel Chitty. Catherine Elizabeth Crawshaw. Jenica Elizabeth Crossman. Ian Robert Kroll. Julie Louise Cummins. Sarah Kimberly Dobson. Beth Alexis Dunn. Jessica Dawn Firminger. Zachary Donald Folkins. Lindsay Catherine Gallant. Leah Corey Gamble. Alana Courtney Hallahan. Tristan Brenna Hilker. Timothy David Holt. Riley James Hughes. London Patricia Irving. Melinda Alexandra Joseph Kelly. Caitlin Patricia Kay. Morgan Kathleen Kelter. Byung-suk Michael Kim. Felicia Amber Landry. Simon Lydon. Sarah Maureen Lynch. Bria Christine McMillan. James Douglas McCracken. Keely Lauren Vino McGill, recipient of a Gold A. Marissa Joan McIntosh, recipient of the Mark C. Valet Memorial Scholarship in Medical Physics. Alexandra Marie McKenna. Logan Craig McNeil. George Metry. Shen Malloy. Eve Elizabeth Muir. Matthew Thomas Mullins. Diego Nafarate. Gregory Paul Nason. Dara Cameron Nelson Barzy. Erin Alexandra O'Brien. Ulu Wameviwi Nia Ogantaya. Ari Oashi. Michelle Lynn Paquette. Bradley Payne. Jeffrey Aaron Pierce. Michel René Plamondon. Sydney Ann Rankin. Raylene Rachel Rice. Shannon Francis Robinson. Emma Jean Snowden. Isabel Lees Spinney. Hunter Stevens. Aaron Molly Troughton. Cassandra Rico Vance. Adrian Jan van Volpen. Lindsay Marion Ray. Honoranda Cancelaria, ali adolescentes, a senatu aprobate os gradu in abstentia accipiunt. Honoranda Cancelaria e adolescentes, quos ad te adduco, ad gradum baccalaureae in commercio apti atque idoneae cogniti sunt. Nicholas Justin Hunt, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude, recipient of the Harold W. Simpson Memorial Prize in Economics. Zhao Tian, cum honoribus premiordinus cum laude. Eric Thomas Macaulay Oliver, cum honoribus premiordinis. Andrew Kenneth Flynn, cum honoribus. Alexandra Elizabeth Blades, cum laude, recipient of the Charles Frederick Allison Avard Prize. Juliana Sophia de Bonaventura, cum laude. Madeline Ann Henry, cum laude, recipient of the David G. Ebert Memorial Prize. Jenna Marie McClellan, cum laude, recipient of the Francis S. Allison Award. Julia Michelle Phillip, cum laude. Rachel Claire Van Gestel, cum laude. Ryan Jeffrey Archibald. Brooke Alexander Beal.
Good job, Brooke.
Duncan Adam Byrne. Kristen Ashley Collins. Chris Cooling. Sarah Morgan Day. Luke Doucette. Andrew John Bell Harding. Joshua Paul Hicks. Sam Carroll J. Anthony Lee. Olivia Catherine Lund. Taryn Alyssa McMillan. Peter Maniok Maluk. Michael John Daniel McCracken. Bomsoon Park. Zachary Douglas Payne. Kennedy James Pope. Andrew Redmond Savoy. Miles Raymond Snare. Jaden Amanda Snethan. Brandon Nicholas Steves. Olivia Jane Steves. Sydney Keziah Steves. Luke Stefan Stignaich. Honoranda Cancelaria ali adolescentes a senati approbate os grados in abstentia accipiunt.
Admitito elos gradus in abstentia.
Honoranda Cancelaria e baccalaureate, hos ad te educo ad gradum in octobri admissi sunt. With a Master of Science, Alexander Hunter Eric Morrison. And with a Bachelor of Commerce, Elliot Archibald Simpson. And Lauren Melanie Wheaton.
That's pretty awesome, beautiful. Miss Chancellor, each year the graduating class chooses one graduate to represent the class and deliver the valedictory address. This is, of course, a great honor. but also a great responsibility, as the valedictorian must find a way to adequately sum up 4 years, life-changing years at Mount Allison. But the class of 2019 has confidence Hannah Sholtz is up to the task. Hannah came to Mount Allison from Hamilton, Ontario, and is graduating with honors French degree and a minor in Geographic Information Systems. She has taken full advantage of her time here at Mount Allison. She was involved with SMILE, a club that pairs students with young people with special needs. She worked for Mount Allison's Students' Union as well. She served as a counselor for our summer camps program. She traveled abroad to Strasbourg in France on exchange. She also happens to throw a pretty mean frisbee as well. Yes, she does. Hannah has been our team captain for the ultimate frisbee team for the past 2 years. Ms. Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present Hannah Sholtz, class of the 2019 valedictorian. Hannah.
Thank you, Dr. Boudreau. Hello, bonjour. C'est un honneur de vous accueillir ici aujourd'hui. I am so honored to extend a warm welcome to all the friends, family, parents, staff, professors, and esteemed guests here with us today. An especially warm welcome, welcome back in fact, to all the graduates. When I arrived at Mount Allison 4 years ago, I could have never imagined myself here giving the valedictory address. I cannot thank you all enough for trusting me with this honor. Congratulations to us, the class of 2019. All the lessons, memories, and stories have led us to this day. And let's be honest, when it comes to this graduating class, there are a lot of stories to be told. If every person from the class of 2019 were to share one anecdote from their time at Mount Allison, the results would be varied and wide-ranging. We would hear about successes and failures, academics and parties, late-night pizza stops, and windy waterfowl walks. In fact, if every graduate who came across the stage today were to tell one story, it is quite possible we would never hear the same tale twice. And in spite of all our differences, every single narrative in this room contributes to the incredible story of the class of 2019. What kind of story is this collective chronicle? It is a tale of interwoven plot lines where unrelated characters meet and befriend each other in the most unlikely of scenarios, like a Biochem 1001 study group. It features unreliable narrators, like professors who insist that their exam will not take the full 3 hours to write. It became a saga that at times felt like it could drag on forever, and at others sped by at such an advanced pace you could not believe the final pages were approaching so quickly. All in all, it is a story of many perspectives and experiences. Today, I will try and give a synopsis of this text, the SparksNote version, if you will, to illustrate and celebrate what the class of 2019 has created over their time at Mount Allison University. Although our experiences vary from person to person, they have all led us to this moment. As we sit here together with caps on our heads and diplomas in hand, we may be feeling many of the same emotions we felt when we arrived here as new students. There is the joy of accomplishment and of being supported by friends and family on a long-awaited day, coupled with the sadness of leaving an important phase of our life behind. There's the excitement of starting something new and that squirmy feeling of uncertainty about the future. Thinking back, our first year was one of exploration and discovery. The year we realized the biggest changes could take place within ourselves, not just in our GPAs and our sleeping habits. We looked to those who came before us, professors and upper year students, deciding how we would or would not emulate them when it was our turn. By second year, we began to put our ideas into practice. For some, the path forward became clear, and future career goals were set as majors and minors were chosen. For others, we took solace in the idea that as long as we were doing something that we loved, everything would work out. Here's hoping. I believe that it is in the next half of our undergraduate studies that we really hit our stride in terms of maturing. As we entered into our third and fourth years, we took on more responsibility and realized that our course material was truly interesting to us. Then we blinked, and before we knew it, it was the beginning of our final year. Before we could even say, hey, wait a second, this is going by too fast, we found ourselves preparing to graduate. So today, we have the opportunity to ask, what story did we decide to tell with our time at Mount Allison? As our plot turns developed and character arcs formed, how did our choices contribute to the incredible storyline of the class of 2019? Although I can sum up our undergraduate careers in a few sentences, it is clear that this class in particular has had so much more to say about what you can achieve while also getting a degree. Like many of you, I tried to take advantage of all that Mount Allison has to offer, making the most out of every class, extracurricular, and outing with friends, only to discover that the opportunities afforded to us here are inexhaustible. This desire to get the most from our undergraduate experience begins with academics. As many of our admired professors can attest, this is a cohort of hard-working and high-achieving individuals. We measure this not only by marks, but by students who are passionate about the subject matter, pursuing it both in and outside the classroom. This passion led to honors degrees, experiential learning opportunities, personal interest projects, and for some, graduate studies. However, just like anything that is truly worthwhile, it was not always easy. There were terms we could not memorize, bouts of writer's block, and entire afternoons spent doing the Argosy crossword puzzle in the library while academic matters were set aside. But these struggles were met by eureka moments, well-earned grades, and subjects we found so interesting, we began reading Wikipedia pages out of pure personal interest. It is because we experienced both struggle and success that we earned our degrees today. Another important aspect of our shared story is what we achieved outside the classroom. Although academia is what brought us here, kept us here, and will lead some people on to their next ventures, when we look back on our time, we realize we learned infinitely more lessons outside the classroom. This extracurricular education had a syllabus that none of us could have seen coming. We learned how to avoid construction on campus, when to leave our house in time to get to Ducky's before a line forms, and how to spot a phishing email just by reading the subject line. It is in our extracurricular activities that we learned our real and valuable life lessons, and there has been no shortage of activities. We involved ourselves in our school, our passions, and our community in every way possible. We joined, started, strengthened, and led clubs and societies. As athletes of varsity, intramural, and club teams, we left it all on the court, the field, the pool, and the ice. We put on shows that left the audience both in tears and in fits of laughter. We created stunning works of music, of art, and of writing. We volunteered and raised funds, such as during Shinorama campaigns. In each of these areas, the roles we took on as team leaders, club members, and supportive friends taught us lessons of selflessness, humility, and leadership. On the individual level of our class-wide story, we've experienced our fair share of personal growth. We cultivated our beliefs and our values while also accepting that these parts of our character will continue to grow. We learned to care for others and ourselves and to be our authentic selves and embrace others for doing the same. In this idea of being our genuine selves, we come to one of the most important elements of this cohort story. We are a class that has seen a lot of change. We were the first to experience an artificial turf field, a fall reading week, and a swanless swan pond. We celebrated the opening of the Mawatamka Indigenous Gathering Space. On weekends, Club P entered our lives just as swiftly as it left. We thank Dr. Campbell for his 12 years of shaping Mount A and welcome Dr. Boudreau into the next phase of this university's development. Without a doubt, we have seen a lot of change. But what sets this class apart in the history of Mount Allison, and prospectively outside its bubble, is our desire to see the world better through our own actions. We are a class that does not sit back and wait for change. We demand it. So many students have stepped up, made their voices heard, and asked for more from their university. This is evidenced through the actions of Divest Mount A, who listened, learned, demonstrated, and continued to remind us that we cannot thrive in a world invested in fossil fuels. It is illustrated by the work of the Indigenous student group, who held the first powwow on campus and worked to have the Mi'kmaq flag flown permanently overhead. It is exemplified by the Association of Chronically Ill and Disabled Students and other students who continue to question and challenge our campus's lack of accessible spaces. We have been there to speak out against cuts to the Women in Gender Studies program, the Anthropology program, and correspondence courses. We helped to rework the university's anti-racism policy, and we voted in favor of the WUSC's Student Refugee Program. Our desire to give our university and our world a better future is exemplified by the many student groups, and individuals who question the comfortable norm and work to change it and themselves. As a student body, we have stood up and demonstrated that we will not accept things we do not believe are right. Through academics, extracurriculars, and activism, our story is one that we intentionally wrote together. There is no ghostwriter or pen name to attribute this narrative to. Well, sure, there have been co-authors, like our professors and instructors, who shared with us the love of their subjects and an ambition to create a better world, or the staff of the university, who gave us a place to study, learn, and grow, and our families and our parents and families, our lifelines and grounding wires. You told us to shoot for the stars, to remain humble, and to remember to change the sheets on our bed every once in a while. You gifted us both with our fundamental values and the chance to explore and discover our own guiding principles. To all of you, thank you so much for your unending support. Finally, we all have a person who has championed our university education, encouraging and supporting us in any way that they can. I hope that each of us will take an opportunity to thank this person and to dedicate this tale to them. I do not want to accept that our story ends here. There will be plot lines to wrap up and epilogues to write. However, it is time for the class of 2019 to put down the pen, close the cover, and move forward into the next chapter of our lives. After all the drafts and edits we put into this one narrative, it will be hard to put such a well-worked story behind us. Which is the best part about much-loved stories. We never have to leave them behind. We can pick them up again whenever we want, through memories, photos, and reaching out to lifelong friends. Although I hope that each one of you moves forward into a full and rewarding life, I also hope you will come back to our story of Mount A as many times as you need. I hope you will relearn the lessons, reaffirm yourself in what you now know to be true, and relive what made your experience at Mount A special. Thank you for inviting me to write this story with you, and I am so thankful for each and every one of your contributions. Mes meilleurs vœux dans le prochain chapitre de vos vies. I wish you all the best as you move forward to write the next chapter of your life. Thank you. Merci.
Chancellor Lowen, President Boudreau, distinguished guests, family, friends, and especially the members of Mount Allison's 156th graduating class, the class of 2019. As you walked across this stage today, you walk in the footsteps of more than 40,000 alumni who have come before you, alumni who have gone on to walk many different paths across Canada and around the world. Whether you leave Sackville and land in Halifax or Haiti, or in Toronto or Tel Aviv, you will find members of your alumni network who are ready to help you on your next step. Take advantage of this network and reciprocate by giving support to others as you grow into your careers and your experiences. Remember that you have benefited from those who come before you, and you will in turn do the same for those who follow. Your Mount Allison experience does not end when you leave Convocation Hall with your diploma today. This is only the beginning of a lifelong relationship with your alma mater, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the Mount Allison alumni family. Come back and see us at reunion or when just passing through, and please keep in touch with Mount A. Share your stories and accomplishments with us. We can't wait to celebrate your successes with you. Congratulations, class of 2019. Your alumni family is so very proud of you.
Good morning, everyone. What a morning, eh? Just congratulations, and let me take a moment, first of all, to thank our honorary degree recipients. David, your contribution to Mount Allison has been extraordinary. You've had a deep and lasting impact on the university, and we're grateful for your commitment and dedication to Mount Allison. Andrea, you bring a wealth of knowledge, and we're very fortunate to have you walk beside us through the path of reconciliation. Walalin. And Sheldon, thank you for your wonderful address. We're delighted to recognize your many outstanding achievements with this honorary degree. We're also very proud to welcome our new president and vice-chancellor, Dr. Jean-Paul Boudreau, and his partner, Dr. Irina Gamble. We're glad to have you both join our Mount Allison community. This is Dr. Boudreau's first Mount Allison convocation, and we appreciate the contributions you have made to Mount Allison over the past year, and we look forward to the many things we know you will accomplish in the years ahead. One of the best things about being the Chancellor is being charged and being part of Convocation Day, a day to celebrate the achievements of our graduates and to send them off with the best wishes of the entire Mount Allison community. Parents, I want you to know what a privilege it's been for the university community to get to know your graduate over the past few years and to watch them grow and develop their talents and abilities. As a mother of two recent graduates, I recently sat where you are sitting this morning. At the time, I recall feeling a feeling of pride and excitement and thinking just how quickly everything had passed as Jeffrey, and then a year later, Allison, walked across this stage. This year, I've had the privilege of seeing up close your graduates' excitement, their pride, and in some cases, their relief as I conferred their degree upon them. And it really is very, very special. Thank you for supporting and encouraging your graduate throughout their Mount Allison journey, and congratulations on this important milestone for your family. Graduates, as you've heard, there'll not be many days like today in your lives, a day when you've reached the end of something significant, at the same time you're beginning something new. You'll remember these past several years at Mount Allison all your lives. You'll remember it for the things you learned, not just in class, but about yourself and how the world works. You'll remember it for the fun you had and the places you visited. But most especially, you'll remember it for the people. the friends you've made along the way, and those who've helped you. Some of the people you've met in the past few years will have a lifelong impact on you. People like Fiona Black, the recipient of this year's Paul Perret Medal of Excellence, an exceptional teacher, researcher, and scholar. You may have your own favorite faculty member who took the time to cultivate your appreciation and understanding of their discipline, or a staff member who went the extra mile to help you when you needed it, or a member of the Sackville community who got to know you during your time here. All of these people have been an important part of your life. As we leave here today, I'd like to leave you with some advice to reflect upon. Number one, work hard. Work hard at your careers, but also work hard at your family and your friendships. Number two, stay focused. And number three, be kind to yourself and those around you. Class of 2019, your next adventure begins today. Congratulations on your achievement. We're very proud to send you out into the world as Mount Allison alumni. Merci beaucoup et félicitations.
I promise we're almost done. I'd like to ask the audience to please stand and join me in congratulating the awesome, beautiful class of 2019. Please. That's beautiful. Thank you. Madam Chancellor, as I'm sure you can appreciate, many people were involved in organizing this event today. Some of them were here on stage or in the audience, most of them working quietly behind the stage, in the background, and across this campus. I know several members of the team were here late last night into the wee hours setting up this beautiful venue this morning. I would like to take a moment to take this moment to thank them all for their hard work and planning of this amazing convocation. Thank you all. So please allow me to lead a round of applause for our awesome staff who made this day possible. Thank you all. I would like to add a special acknowledgement today for our registrar, Chris Parker. She's the person who's handing you those beautiful degrees as you were exiting the stage today. Chris is retiring this year after 10 years as our registrar, nearly 23 years at Mount Allison. This is Chris's last convocation, and I would like to thank her for her dedication, ensuring that each student got to this stage and that the convocation ceremonies ran so smoothly. I know that Chris was working the midnight oil up until this weekend, in fact, processing transcripts for helping students get through today. So that's very, very special indeed. Thank you, Chris. Let's have one more round of applause, a rousing round of applause for the class of 2019. Please, thank you, congratulations. Hear, hear. Félicitations les diplômes de la classe de 2019. We are all proud to call you Allisonians. When we look forward to welcome you back to this university as you share your story in the years to come. As some of you may have heard me say a few times, may the force of garnet and gold be with you always. This concludes our formal ceremony this morning. Thank you all for being here and to celebrate this moment with our graduates. It means so very much to us. And if I may, you've made my first convocation at Mount Allison a very special one. Thank you for that. Thank you. I'm still standing. We're going to close today with the Alma Mater song, which can be found on page 3 of your program. You're asked to stand during the second chorus, and we always welcome you to join in. This is a very important song. You should all have it memorized by now. That will be followed by O Canada and the processional. So please remain in your seats until the procession has left the auditorium. With that, I declare convocation closed. Je prononce la cérémonie de la remise des diplomas finie. Merci. Thank you very much.
Where stalwart dykes breast back the tidal seas, where fruitful crops pen to the western breeze, on classic mount, pride of the happy lands, with laurel crowned our Alma Mater stands, her banners there unfold, the garnet and the gold. Mount Allison so fair, beyond the marshes there, above the peaceful scene, she sits enthroned a queen. May each majestic tide, each gale that sweeps the moor, her fame spread far and wide to every shore. Now may we all urged by her noble past, her mission grand, her aspiration vast, press forward still, our vanguard and God in the fight, for justice and for right, their emblem as of old, the garnet and the gold. Mount Allison so fair, beyond the marshes there, above the peaceful scene, she sits enthroned a queen. May each majestic tide, each gale that sweeps the moor, her fame spread far and wide to every shore.
The challenge is before you. The opportunities are without limit. The world is weary and is waiting, and the needs are many. So go forth in faith, believing all things are possible. Go forth in hope and know that you can make a difference. Go forth in love and bring your gifts to all the world. And may the God of all people, life-giver, wisdom, and hope, empower you to accomplish all things, now and always. Amen.